Hey everybody, David Garrett here. Welcome back to the Rio Tea Import Company tea review number 8. It's a 5 and 3 fingers. Hey, how are you doing? How's your summer going? Pretty cool. Hot, right? 100 and something degrees every day. And you know what that means? It's time for some more iced tea. So that's what we're doing with this big tall glass of ice. That's what we're doing with this gray silver tin. That's what we're doing with this 1 gallon container. And that's right, we're going to make some iced tea. But not just any kind of iced tea, we're going to make sun tea. And what we're going to use is the Harney & Sons Organic Plain Iced Tea. It comes in a metal tin box. It's really cool, kind of retro looking, classic Harney & Sons tea tin. It's fantastic. A little something from the Harney & Sons website. Iced tea is the most popular tea to make in the United States of America. It's an American thing to do. So we made sure that the best tasting tea, that they had it, that they make it, that they sell it. The natural sweetness tastes great when served over ice, and you can add garnishes or flavors, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Brewing directions, it's real simple. You can brew this inside at home, inside the house, in the kitchen. Boil 2 cups of water and pour over tea bag into a gallon container. Steep for 15 minutes, then fill the container with the 6 cups of cold water. Okay, so you want to get to the 2 quart mark, right about halfway up, because again, 2 quarts times 2 is a gallon. 4 quarts is 1 gallon. Remember that. And you know how I know that? I asked Siri just to verify. So after you steep for 5 minutes and you fill the container with 6 cups of cold water, or make sure you get up to the point you need for the 2 quarts. Remove the tea bag and gently squeeze it. Again, now you can squeeze your tea bag because that's part of the directions. And the really cool thing is, on one side you have the directions for iced tea. Then you garnish it with a fresh orange or mint. You can add some sugar in there to sweeten at the glass level. At the glass level, you can sweeten it with sugar, some honey. The only problem with honey is that when you pour it into the cold glass, or you've got your cold tea now, you've got that honey, it's going to congeal, it's going to stay in its semi-gelatinous state. You're going to really have to stir. Try to avoid using it with ice in the glass. It's just going to make things messy, it's going to spill over the top, it's going to get ugly, and your host will just give you those dirty looks, because that's what hosts do. They invite you over, but they'll give you the dirty looks. So I recommend you pour your drink, stir it, and then pour it into 1 glass, stir it with your honey if that's what you prefer, and then pour it back into a glass of ice. The same thing with sugar. Now you can sweeten it in the larger gallon container or 2 quart container. That's up to you, that's your preference. But by all means, you can do whatever you want to with it. Now, it also mentioned that you can add garnishes or flavors. Now, something else you can do before it hits the glass of ice, and while it's in here, or you move it to the fridge, is you can go ahead and add some peach slices in there. It's really good. Now this is Chinese black tea, so it's going to be nice. It's going to be rich, full flavor tea, but there are no added spices, no added outside fruity flavors or fruits added to it. You get to pick. You can infuse it with again, peaches, grapes, cherries, blueberries, blackberries, whatever you like. Heck, you can even infuse it with ginger. Trust me, it's pretty cool with ginger. Now, I have seen some people that have infused it with oregano. Not oregano, where was I coming from? Garlic, thank you. There we go, that's where I was coming from. Garlic, actually the cloves. They will throw the entire clove. They'll break the clove apart and throw it into the container and let it sit there for a couple of days. Again, it helps with the digestion, and it helps help move things along, which is pretty cool. But again, that's not my cup of tea. So again, it's up to you. It's up to your preference. Let's see. Continuing on with the Harney & Sons. Let's see. The leaves are dry. They're black leaves with a slight twist. The liquor is brown, and you'll see that here as we make it into the sun tea. Brown with slight russet tints. Aroma is slightly toasty aroma. Yes, that much is true. It's definitely caffeinated because it is black tea leaves. And those are caffeinated. Watch out. Those are definitely caffeinated. You're going to see some well, you're going to see some. It's very good. The Chinese tea blend makes for a mellow tea that is medium bodied. Well, yeah, it is iced tea. It's not supposed to be one extreme or the other. It's supposed to just be nice and right-centered and doing pretty good. The flavors, and this is again from the Harney & Sons website. An old tea buyer told us, quote, "Buy teas that make you smile," and end quote. And this one does that. It has dark and sweet notes reminiscent of light molasses. I've had this already. Yes, it really does. It's very light molasses, but again, it's very, very good. Again, we're not gonna fire up the water kettle, the electric water kettle. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and open this up. And what's going to happen is we're going to, oops, sorry about that. We're going to take the tea bags, and again, this is what the 2-quart tea bags look like. Remember those? Okay, and we're going to take 2 of those because we're going to go all out. We're going to go ahead and turn these 2 tea bags and this into a gallon of sun tea. And we're going to do it over the course of a couple of hours because, again, you want to have it outside and have it out in the sun, let the sun heat. And again, 100 and something degrees outside, we're definitely going to have the heat. You want the light, you want it all working, and you definitely want your container to have a lid. Last thing you want is make a gallon of a sun tea, and then there's skeeters and flies and aphids and whatever else is flying around out there on top of your tea. Yeah, it'll be the last thing you drink, but again, you don't want that in there. So by all means, make sure it's covered. Make sure it doesn't lock down. This lid does not lock down. Don't lock it down. You've got to give it room to expand because, again, heat causes things to expand. You're going to start getting some liquid vapor kind of given off because, again, through evaporation, the evaporation process, you want to make sure that there is no pressure built up and you don't end up cracking your glass. If you use a plastic one, excellent, much better, but understand that it's going to get hot. So it will be kind of a little pliable. So now, through the magic of modern technology, we're going to take these 2 tea bags, this container full of water, this gallon container full of water, and we're going to go ahead and turn it into tea. And we're going to do it like this. Just like that. There we go. 3 hours in the sun, sitting out there in the container, brewing the organic plain iced tea from Harney & Sons. It's in this awesome tin again, and there's 2-quart pouches, and should have opened this earlier. They come in a Ziploc bag, and there's 2-quart pouches, and we use 2 2-quart pouches because 4 quarts is a gallon. So there you go. Now, what we're going to do is, again, well, let's drink some tea. And using tumbler, some ice, the organic plain black iced tea, and remember that honey syrup that we made last time? Well, we put some in here, stirred it up. It's nice and cold. Oh, that's good. That's some good. Oh, let's see. What do we talk about? The flavor. Obviously, it's black tea. It's rich. It's flavorful. It's not overpowering. There's no fruit. There's no additional spices with this. It's just organic Chinese black tea. It's classic. It's sweet in taste. It's rich in body. It's bright. You see the color in the gallon container here and in the glass. It's awesome, and for outside summertime iced tea, you know, South Texas, synonymous. So obviously it's a good thing. Excuse me when I chew the ice. Well, that's it. Harney & Sons Organic Black Iced Tea, 2-quart bags. 2 of them in a 1 gallon container of water. Let it sit outside for about a couple of hours. 3 hours was good enough for me. Sweetener to your taste, whatever you like. If you just like it plain like that, it's fantastic. If not, that's okay. Again, I used the honey syrup from last time, and it was very good. Sugar works. Plain honey, again, will give you that clumping effect at the bottom. You're really going to have to work on the stirring, so be careful when you are using honey. That's why I went with the syrup. And again, if you forgot or kind of want to make your own syrup, it's real simple. 5 parts water, 1 part honey. So 5 cups of water, 1 cup of honey. There you go. Same thing, 5 ounces, 1 ounce, whatever, however you want to do it. And again, you can sweeten it to your taste, you can play with it, but as a basic ratio is 5 to 1. That about does it. Oh, I forgot, you can add a little lemon juice in here or a little something else to sweeten it up. You can even throw in some peaches. Don't do it while it's outside. Okay, now that it's cooled down, put it in the fridge, cut up some peaches, throw it in there, infuse some peaches into this. Same thing with cherries, grapes, whatever is in season at the time, whatever you like, whatever flavor you want, just do that and it'll be awesome. So again, play with it. It's organic, it's basic, it's plain, but you know what? It's still iced tea and it's still very good. It's very good. So again, I thank you for watching. My name is David Guerra. Be sure you stop by the Rio Tea Import Company at 2212 Primrose Avenue in McAllen, Texas. We'd love to talk tea, love to sell you some tea, but most of all, I hope, if you have a question about tea, stop by. We will answer it. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, thank you. Oh, I forgot. Time out. Stop. I forgot. Okay, we've got the iced tea. And in every episode I kind of mention what you can eat with it or what you can't eat with it or what you might want to nosh on with it. And again, organic plain black iced teas, classic, simple. You can have just about anything with this tea, again, because it's not fruity, it's plain, it doesn't have any extra spices, it's simple, it's awesome. But you know what, this time, because again, I liked them the first time, I liked them the second time, I like them all the time. These small little, the cake balls from Ralphie's Cakes. I've mentioned that before. These things are awesome. She did some blueberry ones, and here it is. And definitely the blueberry, strawberry. When we talked about infusing it a couple of minutes ago, a couple of seconds ago, well, the same thing. You can go ahead and have the cake ball. That's awesome. Took too big of a bite, but that's all right. They're fantastic. And then with the plain black ice, the plain iced tea, and it just all gels. One doesn't overpower the other one doesn't squash the other. It all works. It's fantastic. Again, these are blueberry cake balls by Ralphie's Cakes. Thanks a lot, Ralphie. They're awesome. The Harney & Sons organic plain iced tea. Real simple to make, real easy to make, and in this case we made, I guess we should just call it the Harney & Sons Organic Sun Tea Iced Tea. There we go. Give that a shot. Again, 3 hours in the sun and it's awesome. The trick is the lid. Anyway, that's it. Now, back to your regularly scheduled YouTube video. Thanks a lot. Cheers.